Hey guys, this is Camfrey15. I am back at it with another video for you guys, and I am back with some more My Hero Academia manga chapter reviews for you guys. Obviously, where we last left off, it was probably one of the most hypest moments, and then we got a break. Obviously, Horikoshi had to take a break, and listen, I think he deserved it. Rest up, because the rest was surely good for him, and the wait was definitely worth it. Anyways, let's get into this week's manga chapter review of manga chapter 308 titled All Out. Now, again, we see Deku, after obviously saving a former friend of his, confront Muscluar, and essentially he's like, Muscluar's like, how could I forget you? You're that kid. And let me just say this. This boy Deku looks so badass. His eyes are blackened out, and you can just see, the eyelids are blackened out, and you can see just his pupils of his eyes just lit up. And I'm like, this is going to look god tier in the anime. Oh my goodness. So Muscluar's like, Midoriya, I missed you so much. I was getting bored right now with all these small fries and stuff like that. And then we see Midoriya start to unleash like smoke behind him and everything. And that's when Muscluar's like, you better not run away. And that's when Muscluar goes and say, no, do not be mistaken. I should say something grand about revenge here, but I'm not going on to monologue. I just want to do whatever I want with my quirk. I've been content to go on regular rampages always. But after that stunt you pulled earlier, how could I ever go back? Essentially referencing the season 3 incident when Deku beat him and during the camp arc. And this man is so crazy. He gets like a whole rock and puts like it back in his puts it in his eye. I'm like, good God, this is crazy. Anyways, Muscluar jumps at Deku, but Deku's like, whoa, he's not jumping at me. He grabs the building and literally throws the building off its hinges. I'm like, wow, this man Muscluar is crazy strong and everything. Essentially, that's when Muscluar's like, come on, Midoriya, let's settle this. Let's have a rematch and everything. And stuff like that. Now, you see the other people, just see what's going on and stuff like that. And eventually you have Deku drop Yo off with, I forgot to say, Yo's actually dating, what's her face name? I totally freaking forgot her name. But, what is it? I got the freaking name. Tatami. Yeah, Yo's dating Tatami, which I forgot to mention. They're a thing. Anyways, Deku drops Yo off with Tatami, and essentially he's surrounded by smoke. And Deku's like, oh, here you go. Here's Yo. Get him somewhere safe and take care of him and stuff like that. And that's when Tatami is like obviously worried about him and stuff like that. Then that's when Tatami makes a revelation. She's like, he sounds familiar. Where have I heard that voice before? And stuff like that. So yeah, Deku goes on to say, look, get people to safety. I'll make sure there's no more casualties and everything. That's when, and then Deku inner monologuing himself, like, did I overdo it? And essentially we see the 6th user of One For All pop out, and he's like, I suppose you did use a bit of it. You've done enough to control the energy, control the area. And essentially we get a scene here where it's like the One For All user, is right next to him. The 6th user is right next to Deku, talking to him how to help him with this situation. I'm like, I like this. I really do. And there's going to be more instances where the other users come up from behind, like next to his shoulder and be like, you can do this, and stuff like that. It's cool. And stuff like that. And 2, we find out the 6 users quirk, and that is smokescreen. Essentially, listen, you can use smokescreen as a way to avoid damage and get out of a situation before somebody comes up. Again, a very interesting quirk that Deku can use to his advantage because of the powers of One For All and stuff like that. Now, the sixth user goes on to say, don't let him turn the advantage against your favor, I suppose. And then then the sixth user goes on to say, I suppose you're relying on One for All too much. You're making avoidable accidents under its influence. You shouldn't repeat those mistakes the other 8 generations made. You got the biggest burden to bear, given that you're the latest generation. Try to loosen your shoulders and do not let the power use your body. Let your body use the power instead. And essentially, you get a panel to where it's a beautiful shot where we see all the quirks Deku's accumulated over the time with One for All, and they're comparing it to support items. Essentially, the 6 users are like, look, dude, do not try to use, don't try to let, the power overtake you in your body. Use the power to your advantage and stuff like that. Let your body use the power to its advantage and stuff like that. Loosen yourself, essentially get loose, be fine and stuff like that. And things like that. And I like the whole thing where he told him use it as tools. And again, the smoke, like Black Whip, he used it comparing it to a rope. Smoke or the smoke screen, like a good smoke grenade. Float, obviously like a jetpack and everything. Pretty dope stuff and things like that. So the fight continues, and Deku makes mention Muscular, the man who can withstand my 100% smash. I wouldn't forget him either. And stuff like that. And as he's floating through the air because he activates float, essentially Muscular comes out and he's like, you can't run from me, and he's starting to punch him. And Deku's using danger sense, essentially spider sense, to dodge all these attacks and everything, and be able to get to the point where he's not touching him. My God, the choreography looks great here. And then that's when Deku uses Black Whip to get a hold of Muscular, slam him into this ground, and that's when Deku asks Muscular, okay, where is Shigarashi and where's All for One? Where are they at? Where are they located? And essentially Muscular's like, I don't give a damn. I'm not telling you because I don't care and stuff like that. He just told me, do you, and I'll leave you alone. So he tells Midori, stop changing the subject because you're ruining the mood. I'm not here to make small talk or anything. Flash into me like you did the last time and give me everything you got. And then that's when Deku goes on to ask Muscular, why do you have these urges to go on Rampage? Because remember from a few chapters ago, Deku, he said, I want to know why these villains do what they're doing. He wants to get in their psyche, their head, understanding why they are doing the villain stuff that they're doing and stuff like that. Now, Muscular replies to that comment saying to live life without any regrets. And Deku replies by okay, then what regrets do you have? And essentially, Muscular's like, I regret not being able to fight you. And we see Deku in this reply bring up Muscular's real name, because he's like, is there no other path for you to take? Amasuji Goto, which I believe is the first time we've heard Muscular's name, and I'm like, wow, Deku's got the homework done and stuff like that. And that's when Muscular's like, I have no regrets, or Muscular replies I have no other path to take, none at all, and stuff like that. And that's when Muscular's like, look, you can try to do your little psychological talk with me, it ain't gonna work on me, buddy. I'm gonna frickin' get my revenge on you, and stuff like that. And that's when Deku, in his head's like, if I truly understood him, maybe things would turn out different. And we see obviously a little cut panel to Kota, who helped Deku in the first battle a bit and stuff like that. And Deku goes on to say he also hurt and murdered countless numbers of people. A rematch is pointless. But despite that, I could feel that in his heart, within the deepest crevices of his soul. And that's when Muscular's like, you're starting to turn stale. And then, lo and behold, we see that Muscular's muscles start to freak out, and we find out that his augmentation of his muscles were pulled thanks to Yo's attack from the last chapter. It actually had a pretty good effect on his muscles and stuff like that. And with that, it makes Deku take the advantage of it and stuff like that. And Deku makes a point to mention, he's like, the fact that you didn't jump straight to me earlier meant that you felt your own muscles were affected by it too. I suppose that vibration from earlier did the trick. And essentially, you know, Musk was like, I want a legitimate fight with my power. And essentially, Deku ends off the chapter with a punch saying, "This is my power." And he just blows right past him. I don't know what he did to him. He knocked him out. Maybe he did something else. Maybe he killed him. Well, I don't know. But probably, presumably, knocked him out. But it's very interesting to see how strong Deku is. And he's taking him out with one punch. Now, we don't know what percentage of One For All he used on that punch. But I was like, wow, what a great chapter. Definitely can't wait to see what happens next week. Again, Deku with the mask on looks badass. Now, in that panel where he went in for the punch, his mask flew off, or, you know, went back to the thing, and, you know, you see his everyday face. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward in the story, but it seems like, you know, Deku's going to, you know, I guess, make sure he's captured, make sure the authorities get there, and then he's probably going to leave and go do his own thing. But very good chapter. Very much enjoyed this chapter, and I cannot wait to get more of this My Hero Academia storyline. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter of My Hero Academia, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content. My review of My Hero Academia should be up. If it's not up by the time this video goes up on YouTube, it's probably still uploading. And then two, if you don't know, the English dub for My Hero Academia actually came out today. So yeah, you can check that out if you have a Funimation Premium subscription. Otherwise, if you can't wait, then guess what? You only have to wait a month, and then it will go on Toonami, the English dub for My Hero Academia Season 5, on Toonami, May 8th. Other than that, guys, that's kind of all I gotta say in the news for My Hero Academia. I'll see if there's gonna be a break next week if I read the manga chapter, the official manga chapter, because I read the unofficial manga chapter. But hey, it is what it is. I've been doing it the last couple of weeks. Anyways, guys, I'm Deku. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, or when you check out this video. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, guys. Peace.